Your muffled screaming is what keeps me going. I want to squeeze your ass cheeks and claw my nails into them, leaving marks and drawing a little blood, making your ass so red as I loosen your hole, your slutty little hole. All mine. Fuck, I am close already. Shh, you can't talk. I want to hear your muffled cries and begs for help as I stick my femboy cock into that pussy, completely dry so it hurts. You're so tight, it hurts, doesn't it?
I, as a pansexual male,
You're crying and hurting while I'm over here thrusting into the best fucking pussy I've ever seen, violating you. You're not even worth complimenting sometimes, but I do it anyway because I'm a nice guy. God, I'm so fucking hard.
I've also been referred to as a child rapist.
This is a video I don't think a lot of people expected me to make. So for context, Radiance Team is a group of game developers that rose to popularity from the Five Nights at Treasure Island series, and how I discovered them, Five Nights at Chuck E. Cheese is Rebooted. That's my community, that's my domain, and I'm about to protect it. Now I know they're going to cope and maud and seethe over the fact I put Radiance in the title instead of attacking the head honcho directly, but don't you worry, we'll get to that part. The fact of the matter is, if you're gonna upload a video like this, and this, and this, to your brand page, you're damn right the team as a whole is gonna come under fire. It's under the Radiance brand. No one knows who the fuck Nocturna is, until this video. So I'd say it's about time we address the elephant in the room. Let's talk about why Andrew Nocturna is extremely fucking cringe.
So insecure!
The two main people behind I Am Egg are GCan123 and the popular Tubbyland developer There's No Steak. Now, GCan, who was the person who made the account and wrote the majority of it, is actually entirely hypocritical of almost everything he has accused us of. And I would go as far as to say the things he did to Steak are 10 times worse than anything that we ever did to her.
So that's our colorful cast of characters, GCan123 and There's No Steak. They staged an investigation on Radiance Team. They gathered screenshots of various slurs being said, a lot of funny haha gamer words starting with F and N, you know what they are. They interviewed 3 prominent game developers in the community about the harassment they received from Radiance. And they exposed the fact Andrew Nocturna has a rape fetish, in which he roleplayed with a minor. Nocturna's defense here is that he was 18 and his roleplay partner was 17. The age of consent in his state is 16. Realistically, I don't see an issue with this. This is just a normal, a normal relationship you'd see in high school. But I will absolutely 100% make fun of the fact this motherfucker is so down bad, he's getting off to the idea of raping his e-girlfriend over Discord. Alright, how fucking ridiculous is that? That's disgusting. If I were a parent, I certainly wouldn't want my kids joining his Discord server, that's for damn sure. But, Nocturna actually makes a pretty good point. It's disgusting seeing people throw out these accusations with little to no evidence from both sides of the situation. That's why I'd like to see Radiance put out a public apology, because someone from their team, Sunken Studios, did the exact same thing to me in their live premiere chat. I mean, just watch my hit documentary Rockafire Godfather, and you'll see I systematically dismantled this allegation, which was actually lodged against me by a 40-year-old alcoholic that my team and I exposed for trying to solicit nudes off a 14-year-old girl. This was a pedophile trying to pull the old Uno reverse card, and the majority of the Rockafire community knows this is all bullshit. So if you want to talk about hypocrisy, it's staring you right in the fucking face.
Andrew is a bottom bitch emo faggot femboy that feels powerful for once in his submissive and breedable life by jerking his furry micro dick to the thought of him raping retarded children over Discord. After he blows his load of retarded sperm babies, he listens to My Chemical Romance on repeat and cries, realizing what his life has become, but his retarded school shooter fan base gives him a hug and a kiss and tells them they still love him, and then goes back to hating on trans people.
Who is this cute little lesbian, and how tight is her pussy?
Please keep in mind that the server was private. Absolutely no one inside that server was affected by what we said, and I personally feel everything we said in there could be reclaimed. Our team, despite what some people are thinking, is actually incredibly diverse. We made sure we could say these things before saying them. None of this language was used to anyone outside of this server, no hate crimes occurred, nothing of that sort. We understood that these words have history and some people are just flat out uncomfortable with them, which is again why we kept this all totally private and we weren't just going around publicly saying this stuff. If you were taken aback by these screenshots, sure, that's totally understandable, but that's why not everyone was supposed to see it.
Good fucking lord. This is the most corporate PR response I've ever heard. Yes, we get it. Andrew Nocturna is clearly a black man and has every right to reclaim the N-word. We here at Radiance are incredibly inclusive and diverse, and we accept people of all color, creed, and dick size. Bull fucking shit. You guys are the edgelords of the community. And you're too much of a pussy to stand behind your own jokes. Just say that you find this stuff funny and that you don't actually care. You made all these jokes behind closed doors. Now your dirty laundry has come to light, and you don't have the guts to stand by it. Discord is a cesspool, a sewer of degeneracy. We already know people say slurs on there, and I could care less. Sticks and stones may break my bones, but words sure as hell will never hurt me. Is GCan guilty of using the same slurs he called out Nocturna for? Absolutely. Do I care? Not in the fucking slightest. But the point I do want to hammer in on is that Nocturna is a pussy ass bitch. GCan intended on making a video defending himself, and this very idea, the idea of bringing it to YouTube, caused our little emo edgelord here to chomp at his fingerpits in fear. Why are you making a YouTube video, bro? You know, I say we should all ask Andrew that same question. Why you making a YouTube video, bro? I mean, he said he recognized the issues him and his team caused, and that the expose would not be in vain. The evidence against Radiance, in turn, is taken down. You'd assume all's well that ends well, right? Nope. Being the slimeball bitch that he is, he ends up waiting until GCan's on vacation and drops this video going on the offensive. Hashtag Radiance did nothing wrong.
The Radiance team as a collective is full of transphobic, xenophobic, anti-Semitic, homophobic, racist, sexist people.
Well, it's true that there were a lot of flaws in the initial Twitlonger expose. Now believe me, if I were doing it, it'd be bulletproof, airtight, not to brag or anything. And I think Radiance did a fairly decent job defending themselves, but I don't agree whatsoever with the assumption that it was made in bad faith. I believe these were honest mistakes. They had a lot of screenshots to look over, and were probably under a lot of pressure to make this post as hard-hitting as possible, considering they literally interviewed people in the community that have been harassed by Radiance in the past. These were two people that genuinely wanted to make a difference in the FNAF community that they grew up in, that they care about. Standing up against doxing and cyberbullying. It certainly wasn't for any type of clout or personal glory, and that can be confirmed by the fact they dropped all this evidence under a burner account. I think Nocturna is even aware that the intentions were noble. Despite that, he went back on this sentiment and decided to slander them, mainly GCan, as gaslighters and manipulators.
The people interviewed by Egg were gaslit into buying certain narratives, such as us apparently stalking and harassing and doxing members of the FNAF community. However, this was completely untrue, and many of the interviewees expressed that, despite which they were forced into playing into said narratives. And unfortunately, many of the people who read this post were also bought into those narratives, despite them having little to no proof regarding anything we were accused of doing.
I think it's very disappointing to see that a lot of the people who should have had GCan's back on this are essentially throwing him to the wolves. I mean, this is a David versus Goliath type battle. When you're the underdog, you need your friends to support you, or at least vouch for your character when they're about to be hung by public opinion. But it really goes to show that there are a lot of fake people in this community that really only care about their own reputations and will essentially turn a blind eye to injustice, or even turn a blind eye to their friends being trampled on if it means they get to live another day. GCan was clearly very understanding towards Martin's situation and kept asking for confirmation that he was okay with his plan. Martin took all these screenshots for him, agreed that Nocturna needed to wake up, and then essentially threw him under the bus when the expose began to backfire, when realistically they both share the blame on this issue. I don't see this as gaslighting. I see this as a lack of loyalty and a lack of coordination from his partner in crime. That's a big part of why I'm stepping up and making this video. You know, maybe I'm more traditional, but I stand up for those I believe in, and I believe that GCan had the community's best interest at heart. So what have we learned from this entire situation? 1. Fazzy Funbear is trans and just needs to admit it already. 2. Nocturna is still mauling over a deleted Twitter post while GCan's having the time of his life at a yacht club. And 3. My name's Dewmonic Abyss, and don't you fucking forget it, bitch.
Light up your face with gladness, hide every trace of sadness, although a tear may be ever so near. That's the time you must keep on trying, smile. What's the use of crying?